Hi everybody, happy Saturday. We're going to be talking about intermittent fasting and what I eat in the day. I was supposed to have Cynthia Thurlow on today, but we had a scheduling conflict, last minute cancellation. Hi, Not Afraid of 50. Today we're talking about intermittent fasting and kind of the basics of what I eat in the day. So I'll let you guys start coming on, and we've got, I'm going to be announcing the winner of the T-Zone vibration plate as well. So a little bit of a different show today because I thought I had a guest coming on, and I found out last night, well, it was my fault because I didn't check my email, but found out last night that there was a scheduling conflict, and Cynthia was thinking it was East time, and so this is, I mean, I can't tell you how many times that this has happened. But anyways, we're still going to be talking about intermittent fasting because I've done intermittent fasting for 35 years now. Is that 35 years? Since I was 20. Yes, I'm 55, so for 35 years I've been doing intermittent fasting. We're going to pick the winner of the vibration plate. I wish I could just take you guys with me. Maybe I could just take you guys with, no, that's fine. The vibration plate, that big vibration plate that's worth $649. We have a winner coming up, and I'm going to pick it right now. I'm going to call my husband. Jonathan? Are you on the phone? Okay, so we're going to pick the winner right now of that vibration plate. So let me see how many, let's see how many comments I had on that one post. I have my computer here, you guys, just because, it's, you know, the holidays are hard. It's one of those days where it's taking me a little bit of time. But okay, so let me see. Let me go back. We're going to pick the winner right now. So let me see how many comments, and then you guys can see how I do this. I would think you're more qualified to teach us than you're. That's so sweet. Yes, I've been intermittent fasting for 35 years, and I'm a holistic nutrition and health coach, gerontologist, so I do have a lot of info about that. Okay, so profile. Sorry, I'm just pulling up my Instagram right here because we're going to pick the winner right now, live, of that vibration plate. So let's see, let's go here. So there were 183 comments. Jonathan, give me a number between 183, random. This is how it works. Come in, everyone come in. This is my husband, Jonathan.
90.
I'm the best husband in the world. Oh, and the dog. Look, you get to meet the fam.
98.
98, okay, so what we'll do is we'll go down to the, so can I give this to you?
Yeah.
So look at the comments here. Go to the 98th comment,
okay,
either from the bottom or the top,
okay,
whichever is easier for you. And then we have to make sure that that person has tagged 3 people, and then that will be the winner. Oh my gosh, so exciting. Happy Saturday, happy Saturday. Oh, Beauty realized Linda Behrens is on here, and she just said, hi, Jonathan. Okay. So got a lot of things to talk about. And I, here's Oliver. He's adorable. Little comfort animal. There's a lot of things to talk about, and I get the question all the time of, what do you eat in a day? And it's really hard for me to do that kind of answer, to give that kind of answer.
I don't see 100 and something comments.
You have to, okay, hold on 1 second. Yeah, oh, because you're on here. So if you go to here, let's see. Hold on. Yeah, go to that post, baby. And so it should be right here. This post with Rob, you see how there's 183?
Yeah.
So if you go to the comment section, so these are all comments, you see, and they're tagging people. So just go down to, what was the number 98. You chose? 98. We're going to find out really soon who wins that vibration.
Then it just stops.
You have to view more. Or plus, yeah, it'll keep going.
Okay.
You can look at it on your phone as well, and just go down to that. Okay, so we're going to be waiting for that winner, and then tomorrow, you guys, on the Instagram Live, and hopefully I'll start on time tomorrow, we have the winner of the Omnilux Red Light Therapy Mask. So make sure, if you have not tagged your 3 people, go and tag your 3 people on that post. That was on the live. I'll put it in my story so that you guys have access to that. But it was on the live on Red Light Therapy. So we're giving away the Omnilux Red Light Therapy Mask. That winner will be announced tomorrow. It's going to take a little bit of time to pick this winner because there was 187 entries. Okay, let's talk about intermittent fasting and what I eat in a day. I get this question all the time, and it's difficult to answer that when you are somebody who is predominantly plant-based, but has small amounts of meat. So I do microdose my meat, and I've been intermittent fasting for 35 years. So there's a lot that goes into what I eat, but not a lot of thought, because at this point, I've been doing this for so long that it's just become so, it's second nature to me. And that's what I hope happens when you guys incorporate intermittent fasting. I hope that it becomes like second nature to you. You don't have to think about it. You're not hungry, anything like that. So let me tell you what happens when I wake up. And I'm going to be up and down. I'm going to go into my very messy refrigerator right now and show you what is always in my refrigerator. Just mind all the other stuff. I do live here with my husband and my 23-year-old daughter, so there's various things that get eaten here. But there are staples that I always have. And for me, the concept, I'm not working off of any outline today or anything like that. This is just, what do I eat in the day, and how does that relate to intermittent fasting? And for me, it's more about adding things than it is depriving myself of anything. So I start the day with, oh wait, hold on one second. I missed something. Yeah, show and tell. Yeah. Okay, so I start the day with a large thermos of green tea. I might just like carry you guys around with me.
Here's your winner.
Oh, we have a winner. We have a winner. Oh gosh, that's a long. And she tagged 3 people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tag 4 people.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see this. Here's the winner. Shyla _ Lewis _ X Louise _ Simpra?
Siempre.
Yeah, Simpre. Okay, you are the winner of the vibration plate worth $649. So we'll make sure that we get your address, and I'm going to send that to the company, and they can send it right out. Oh, look, you guys. Here's my daughter has started baking. Talking about diet and the holidays. It's hard, you guys, because we're surrounded by all of this kind of stuff, right? She made these from the New York Times, I think, had a recipe on hot chocolate cookies. Unbelievable. She makes all these kinds of desserts, and they come in at different times. So during the holidays, we just put this big table here. And there'll be various desserts that will be coming on, that will be added to that up until Christmas. Here's my tree, in case you guys have missed that. And all of the ornaments on the trees are all special. So like this was Kaylee in 1997. She was really into Pooh Bear. This was Jackson in 1998. He was Teletubbies. That was his big thing. And when I got the privilege of adding my stepson to our family, he was already 14 years old. And so what I did was my husband and I went through his baby book and went backwards, and from the time that he was born until 14, got him 14 ornaments, so that when we decorate the tree every year, he has the same amount of ornaments as the kids. So we had to like go back and think about like, what was he for Halloween this year, or what was he into? And so every year the kids come over and decorate the tree, and they each have the same amount of ornaments as when they were born. So okay, so just getting to the green tea part. Oh my God, my closet. So every morning I start with at least an entire thing of this. I actually have a double one as well. And I start with an entire thing of this with green tea. Now, if you're intermittent fasting, this doesn't affect your intermittent fasting at all, right? Because this is 0 calories. I get this question a lot too from my clients. Well, what if I'm a coffee drinker and I like to put sugar and cream in my coffee? Does that jeopardize my fast? It does. It doesn't mean that you can't achieve a state of ketosis, and that's when your body is burning fat. You can achieve a state of ketosis if you're having, not a true fast, but you're just deprived in your caloric intake and your body is wanting more. So you can still be in ketosis where your body is utilizing fat, but it's way easier to do. And I have found more successful if I cut all calories completely until about 1 o'clock. Does drinking green tea on an empty stomach make you sick? That's a great question, and it used to. And so what I learned when I traveled to London, and I was at a high tea in London, so fancy. But I was at a high tea in London, and I had the best green tea there, and I asked the waiter, why is it that I am getting sick to my stomach from drinking green tea on an empty stomach? And he said, you're burning the leaves. So green tea is kind of fragile, so you have to look at, and you don't want to put boiling water on a tea leaf because it will burn it. It will cause it to be bitter. If you leave the tea bag in too long, it will cause it to be bitter, and that will really mess your stomach up. So, hi Turkey, that was a really great question. So, I like to start with a whole thing of green tea because green tea, as you know, is anti-inflammatory. It's cancer prevention. It has all of those amazing flavonoids and all of the stuff that is really great for longevity. And if you look at some of the blue zones around the world, that's what they've been doing. So I wake up, I'm fortunate to have a husband who brings me green tea in bed, but brings me an entire thermos of green tea. And so I'm probably having at least 3 to 6 cups of green tea in the morning. Again, I'm not using boiling water. I'm not keeping the tea bag in too long. I keep the tea bag in the thermos for about 3 minutes and then discard that. And so I'm getting all of this hydration with all of the really great, amazing health benefits of green tea. So that takes me, I'm just gonna go through the day. So this is why I don't even need an outline or anything. So when I drink my green tea in the morning, I jump up. After that, take a freezing cold shower for 2 minutes, dry brush first, freezing cold shower for 2 minutes, and then I hit the gym. So I'm hitting the gym with 0 calories in my system. And it's when you're doing this, when you're in times of deprivation and you're needing the energy, right, to build muscle, you're needing the energy to be able to exert yourself and increase your heart rate. It's in times of deprivation that your body then reaches into its fat cells for energy because you don't have glucose running freely around your bloodstream. So remember when I talk about fiber, we did this whole thing, and I actually was on, where was I? I think I was on New York Living, and I talked about fiber, and I was on Waking Up with Marcy and Hillary. We also talked about fiber. Fiber is our friend, right? So I'll go the full morning and have no calories in me. My body is in reaching into its fat cells for energy, right? So it's reaching into the fat for energy, which is what keeps us in a state of ketosis. A keto diet is one that aims to keep our bodies burning fat, but you don't need to eat keto food to do that. You just deprive yourself at times, and that causes your body to reach into its fat sources for energy. Because when we have too much sugar and carbs and not enough fiber to slow down the way that the sugar hits your bloodstream, when we don't have that, our blood sugar level is going to spike, right? So if you wake up in the morning and you've got a smoothie, or if you've got juice, or you've got all of these other things that you're putting into your body, your blood sugar level is going to spike because you're lacking the fiber, right? Now, if you're one that I have to take medication in the morning, you can have small bites of food. You're still going to stay in a state of ketosis. But for me, what I found is 0 calories until after I work out is best for my body. Because have any of you guys who have ever tried intermittent fasting but still hung on to coffee with cream and sugar in it? And that makes it to where it's very difficult because your digestive enzymes are already activated. You're already saying, oh, food is coming. Your digestive enzymes are activated, which causes the release of the hormones that say that you're hungry. Give me more, give me more, give me more. So if you could just wake up in the morning, and this is the easiest way that I've found. I do a 16-hour fast. Your physical fitness and physical and mental health are linked to God's success in what you love. So be what he loves. I tried to do that. Okay. So when I wake up in the morning, I'll have 0 calories. I'll work out on an empty stomach. It allows my body to then reach into the fat cells for energy. But in addition, it's in times of deprivation that when we need protein, our body will go into damaged proteins, which they call zombie cells or senescence cells. And when that happens and you need protein, what will happen is our bodies are fascinating. Our bodies are fascinating in what they're able to do. So our bodies will go into these damaged proteins that are zombie cells and called senescent cells that wreak havoc around any other proteins that they touch. They're like contagious almost, right? What about black coffee? Black coffee's fine. No milk, no cream, no sugar. Black coffee, great. Green tea, no cream, no sugar, great. All of those things to get hydration in you. And coffee is also an antioxidant, so that's great. Doesn't a collagen life break intermittent fasting? Should I be? Yes, it does. Yeah, I mean, again, we're looking at small, and I'm going to be up and down, you guys, so hold on. We're looking at, and the one I have here is skin. Let me see what else I have here. I have sport, I have skin. Okay. That's just what's in my thing right now. I think the life's back there, and it's like covered with a bunch of stuff. But when you're doing something like this, so let's just look at what the calories is on this. 1 tablespoon is 10 calories. So you're taking 10 calories in the morning and 10 calories at night. They also make a pure that doesn't have any of I think there's 0 calories to that one, or there might be like 1 or 2. It's like really stripped down any added juice to make it taste good. These actually taste good. This one's not as tasty, but this actually tastes good, and that's where you're getting the calories from. So there are juice concentrates in this, along with the collagen. You guys, this brand of collagen is the best in the world. When something else comes along that's going to be better, I will jump ship and I'll tell you all about it. But right now, this is hydrolyzed collagen. It is the best on the market. So if you are interested in a collagen product, you can DM me the word collagen. You can also go to the Modere website, and on the referral thing, just put in the word Darnell, that's my name, with 2 L's, and it will give you $10 off. So that's also a way to do it. But yeah, it will break, listen, it will, there's breaking your fast, and then there's breaking your fast. 10 calories is going to make a difference in terms of like, what are you craving? Because you do have those digestive enzymes that have been, completely kick-started with anything that you're putting in your body that has any sort of sugar in it. And so it will kind of affect that. But so what I do, because I work out first thing in the morning, and I know that not everybody can do that, but I work out first thing in the morning after my green tea, I don't have my collagen until after my workout. So let's just recap a little bit. No caloric intake for me anyways, and I'll go over other ways to intermittent fast. But what somebody said. Did you already say the winner from last week? I did. My husband has that. Let me see if I can find it on here. I did say the winner from last week, and I'm not going to be able to get this right away. But tomorrow's winner is going to be for the red light therapy mask, the Omnilux red light therapy mask. So I will make sure that that's the first thing that will come up is who the winner is for that mask. So if you go and replay this, which you can do later, the winner is announced probably in the first 1 minute, and it was a very long handle, so I don't remember what that was. But we do have that, and we do have a winner. Yay! Tomorrow we're giving away the Omnilux red light therapy mask, which is worth $399. The vibration plate that I just gave away was worth $649 or $699. I don't know. It's something like that. If you're interested in that vibration plate, is on sale right now for 20% off. Just DM me the word vibration. When that auto populates and you'll see the link and you'll see the Live Young 10, just switch that code to Live Young 20, because for a limited time, because of the giveaway, I said, you got to give people that don't win, you got to give them a little bit more than 10%. So they're giving 20%. So you would just put in Live Young 20, and you can DM me the word vibration, and you'll get that that link, and then just it'll auto-populate and say Live Young 10. Switch that. I just got them to up the discount. So yay. Okay. Let's see what time it is. 11:30. Speaking of which, I'm having a little bit of mushroom coffee here. So the way that I like to break my fast after my big thermos of green tea, after I've worked out, is I then come in. If I've worked out, I'll take a swig. It's supposed to be a tablespoon, but I already know how much it is already. So I'll take a swig of the Sport, which is the same amount of collagen as the Skin and the Life, but it has muscle recovery in here. So it fuels physical and mental performance, promotes healthy tendons, joints, muscles, ligaments, boosts muscle recovery. So same amount of collagen, but it's got extra stuff in here that boosts muscle recovery. So I'll take a swig of this, and then I like to break my fast with a mushroom coffee. So let me see if I can find, oh my gosh, I should give away some mushroom coffee. I have so much mushroom coffee right now because I'm on auto ship, and I'm the only one in the house that drinks it. Look how much I have of this. You know what, I'm gonna give some of this away as well. Okay. If whoever is the first person to, if you're inviting, if you want to invite some people here, I'll give you a mushroom coffee, right? The first 3 people to invite somebody. If you've done it or you've tagged somebody, let me know, and I'll then reach out to me afterwards. But let's see if we can get people to invite other people on here. Here's what's up for grabs. I'm going to have to go back and kind of look at this to see like who the winners were, but please give me some mushroom coffee for craft's sake. For craft's sake, listen, for craft's sake, DM me, give me your address, I'm gonna send it to you, okay? DM me for craft's sake. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to this live to make sure that I gave it to the right people. Anybody else want a mushroom coffee? Invite somebody, and then I'll send one of these in the mail. I'm gonna have to pay for the shipping, but I don't care. 3 invited, Creative Candy, you just got another one. Okay, awesome. And Jeanette Cardoso Realtor, you got another one. Okay, there's the 3 mushroom coffees. I might do that again tomorrow, you guys. Invite your 3 people. Oh, you know what? Yankee Beauty 88. Let's give another 4th one. Let me go grab another one. Okay, so those 4 people just want a mushroom coffee. Tomorrow I'm going to announce the winner of the Omnilux Red Light Therapy mask. And I'll probably give away some more coffee. Jesus Christ, did you invent the word what? Okay. Anyways, here we are, back again. So, in the day, let's get back to where we were. I have a full thermos of green tea. I should have given you guys what that was. I like this green tea because it's organic. You have to remember, teas are still sprayed with pesticides, you guys, right? So you want to make sure. I like this. Yeah, this is my favorite brand because it's matcha, it's organic green tea, it's less likely to burn the tea leaves because it's matcha, and so that's kind of my whole thing that I love, and I love organic chamomile at night. So that's kind of what I do. Full thermos of that, and then I work out, which causes my body to reach into the fat cells. Does everybody understand why that is? Let me explain that really quickly. Why that is. What is the whole theory about intermittent fasting? Did you pick a winner? I did. It's in the beginning of the video. It was a very long handle, so I'm going to have to go back and see what that was because I don't have it off the top of my head. Sorry, 1 second, you guys. 1 second. Okay, and we're back. Sorry, my nose is running. This cold, if any of you guys got this cold that went into your chest, holy crap, I'm still like coughing in the morning, and I never get sick, but I think with the death of my nephew, you know, grief is so physical in your body, right? You can feel it. You can feel the heaviness, and I think my immune system dipped, which is rare, and I got sick. Anyway, which, by the way, this was very, let's see if I can find it. Excuse my messy refrigerator, you guys. Oh, here excuse my messy refrigerator, but this Immune really helped. This has zinc and elderberry in it. And so this, I started taking, once I got this, because I was out of it, my cough kind of went away. I just still have it in the morning. I would imagine it's going to stick around for a long time. Okay, you guys. So the concept of intermittent fasting, there's so much research on the health benefits in terms of metabolic health. So how is your body handling sugars and starchy carbs? How is your body holding on to weight? It affects everything from, what you're going to eat, like the number of calories that you consume in a day is affected by intermittent fasting, because if you have an 8-hour window, let me see if I can, again, I didn't really use because I had that cancellation. I didn't really use an outline for today, but I'm not going to be able to find it. So I normally stop eating about 9 p.m., okay? So at 9 p.m. is like usually the last bite of food that I have, and then I eat my lunch about 1 p.m. Now, if I'm watching a movie, I'm eating popcorn or whatever, I just shift that a little bit, but I don't have to think about, it's not like I'm setting a timer that says, oh, now it's time to eat, because my body is so used to it. After 35 years of intermittent fasting, my body is so used to it that I don't get hungry until about 16 hours of fasting. So sometimes it'll be 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm like, why have I not eaten anything yet? Why am I not hungry? And the reason is because, last night I stayed up and watched a movie and had popcorn and a little dairy-free ice cream until 11:30 at night. So that's why. It's like my body is already so used to it. Oh my God, thank you for the badge. Colette, thank you so much for the badge. Colette 80. Okay, so the concept is, we're not meant to have food at our beck and call. We've got all of this shit at any time, if we're lucky, right? Because it's not the same throughout the world. It's not the same throughout America. There's lots of different variations in terms of socioeconomic availability of, fruits and vegetables and foods at your beck and call in a refrigerator or a pantry. We're lucky if we can say, oh my God, I have way too much food in my refrigerator. Think about how lucky we are to say that. Not everybody gets to say that in the whole world, right? But our bodies are not meant for that. So when the human race is kind of like, we have all this technology now and food, preservations and crops that can grow all, one big giant thing, like all this industrial farming, but our bodies are not designed for that. Hi, so before you have your lunch ingredient, yes, that's exactly right. I know I'm going to go, because I don't have an outline today, it's going to go like this. That's fine. Yeah, before I have anything, I have my green tea. Then after my workout, I take a swig of collagen. And then, because again, you don't need much, you guys. You don't need much. It's not like you have to work out and then go immediately eat protein. Because you know what happens when you don't do that? Your body will take those damaged proteins. Just, if you think about Alzheimer's and dementia, we've got damaged proteins in our brain, right? That become senescent cells and zombie cells. And those lead to dementia and Alzheimer's. If you are depriving yourself of caloric intake and your body is needing it, like I just worked out, what my body then does, it reaches into the fat cells for energy. So you want fat cells that are active, right? You want, did I just do that? That was so weird, the hearts that just came out. I don't know what I did, or if that was sent by one of you guys. That was bizarre. But you want your fat cells active. So what happens when we eat too much calories for what our body needs? Our body can't handle it, and it thinks like, oh, I'm going to store this stuff for later. So what happens is you eat, like, let's say, a piece of pizza. Your body then, your stomach breaks it all down, and without the fiber there, it pulls the glucose, which is our preferred source of energy, we get that through food. It pulls that through the lining of our small intestines. Isn't that fascinating? That's how sugar gets in the bloodstream. It's not coming from your stomach. Your stomach digests, swallow, stomach digests it. It's down in the small intestines that it's broken up so small that it's pulled the food, the sugar, through the lining of the small intestines into the bloodstream. If we have glucose running around in our bloodstream, we feel energetic, we feel like all of that, right? But our body's going to use that first. Our body's going to utilize that energy first. The other energy, which is stored as fat, usually around our midsection, if we are eating highly processed foods, if we're eating sugary stuff, if we're eating starchy carbs, that is way too much glucose to hit our bloodstream at one time. So it gets pulled through the small intestines. We've got all of this glucose running around our bloodstream. Insulin is then stimulated to then figure out, what are we going to do with all of this glucose? We have to clear the glucose out of the bloodstream. To clear the glucose out of the bloodstream, it gets stored primarily as fat around your midsection. So when I work with a client one-on-one and I see a spare tire around the midsection, my thought automatically goes to, that's from food. That's from too much sugar, too fast. Does that make sense, you guys? Too much sugar, and sugar is starchy carbs, sugar is all the sweet stuff, sugar's fruit, sugar, anything that has sugar in it. Too much sugar, too fast. Your body does not like that. Insulin is stimulated. It's then literally stored as fat. Could be stored in your liver, can be stored in your muscle, can be stored in the midsection around. But diet, when you're looking at diet, too much sugar, too much starchy carbs, the primary area that is stored is around your midsection, the love handle area. For women, some, butt, hips, thighs, all of that stuff. But when you're looking at a larger stomach, a larger abdomen that happens with age, you're looking at you're not in great metabolic health, right? If you've got a roll around your stomach, and this is going to be harsh, so I apologize for this, but if you have a roll around your stomach, you're not in the best metabolic health that you can be in. And one of those ways that you could potentially fix that and get on a better health trajectory is through intermittent fasting. So when we can create fat cells that are active, they're not just piling up. Let's just keep piling up. I'm eating another cookie. Let's keep storing. But you keep eating, you're still consuming. And so you've got blood glucose, you're running around your body, you're not utilizing what's already been stored. We store it for a reason to use it later. But if we're not using it, it's just accumulating. It's accumulating, which causes worse. It's like a snowball effect, right? If you're accumulating belly fat, you're on a really bad downward slope of like metabolic health, right? But if you're intermittent fasting and you're utilizing, so our fat cells fill up, right? We've just eaten a bunch of stuff. Our bodies are amazing. Store it as fat, clear the blood, store it as fat. So our fat cells are filled up. What happens when you don't eat breakfast in the morning and then you work out? You utilize that. You don't need to eat keto-friendly stuff. It's in times of deprivation that our body utilizes fat for energy. Okay? So, we've talked about autophagy. And autophagy, remember, is that cleaning out of the damaged cells, the damaged proteins, those which cause inflammation in our body, those which cause free radicals in our bodies. When times of deprivation, our body will literally take that damaged protein and go, this part looks good, and this part looks good, and this part looks good. And now let's get rid of that, and we'll utilize these parts. That's what happens in autophagy. Your body gets rid of the damaged stuff, or it picks it apart and uses those parts for protein, for what your body needs. It's really fascinating. But if we're continually consuming, we've got all this stuff in the refrigerator, we got all this stuff in the pantry, and we're continually just like throughout the day, I'm having, 3 meals a day and I'm snacking, you've got all this stuff in your blood sugar I'm going to watch this live again for sure. Great. And I wish I was a little bit more, organized with it, but I had a cancellation, and so this is what we're doing. So sorry. So that's what the aim is. The goal with intermittent fasting is to create an environment in your body where you're utilizing fat cells for energy. Your body is in a state of ketosis. Doesn't mean that you need to go buy a keto-friendly bar. Please don't. You guys, protein bars, keto-friendly bars, those are glorified candy bars. You need to get that in your head. If you're at a movie and you want a candy bar, bring your protein bar from home and use that instead, because at least the protein is going to satiate you a little bit. But all protein bars, all bars, they're pulverized, right? So they've taken out the digestion of us chewing it. They've pulverized it into very small parts. They've glued it back to, not glued, but you know what I mean. They've squished it back together to form a bar, and that bar is going to spike your blood sugar level. And they're very deceptive on what they put on the side of the packaging. 0 this, 0 that, 0. But alcohol sugars still spike your blood sugar level. So they're very, very tricky in how they slip sugar into things. If it tastes sweet, I don't care if it's made out of dates. You know those bars that are like, it's 3 egg whites and 1 date and 5 peanuts, whatever. Pulverize that, and it's still going to spike your blood sugar level, right? Okay, so recap. Nothing in the morning, and then whole thing of green tea. I work out, then I have a swig of my collagen. After the workout, it's usually the sport. DM me collagen if you want that link. Then I break my fast with a mushroom coffee, and then what? All the vegetables I can possibly get in my body. So let me see if I have I have something from last. So I might eat like an entire thing of like roasted carrots for lunch with like a half of a baked potato. This is what I had last night. But I always, ooh, I wonder if we threw it out. I always for lunch have, I've got a big thing of soup in there. For lunch is always for me. So this is like the staple. My lunch is my largest meal of the day because I have broken my fast. And my goal with that meal is get in every single vegetable I can get in. And usually that's in a stir fry over like a black rice. So a little bit of black rice in the bottom of I'm going to show you guys too what's also important, because when you're talking about portions, you can always go back for seconds, but you're more likely to clean your plate if you're starting with a giant bowl of something, right? So for me, when I do a stir fry or I do a soup, so my lunch is always, and I want to say probably for the last, unless I go out to lunch or something crazy like that, but my normal lunch is always one of two things. Either a vegetable stir fry, which usually includes broccoli, asparagus. I get at least one cruciferous vegetable in there, so broccoli or cauliflower, something like that. Broccoli, asparagus, it could be mushrooms, tofu, whatever it is, but it's plant-based. No meat in terms of that. I just had the swig of collagen, so I already have some animal product going in me, because collagen does not come from plants. If somebody tries to sell you a plant-based collagen, that's impossible. It doesn't work. That's not it. Collagen comes from the joints and ligaments of animals. So this is what I mean by I'm primarily plant-based, but I have small amounts of meat. Collagen is a meat product, right? I know that seems weird, but it is. It's coming from the joints and the ligaments and all that connective tissue of animals. They do whatever they do to get it in there and hydrolyze it and get it to where our bodies can utilize it. But for lunch, I'm talking about a tiny bit of black rice in the bottom maybe, and then a giant pile of stir-fry vegetables, most of the time with a little bit of tofu, everything organic, or I will make a big pot of a soup that is a lot of vegetables. So what I'll do is I'll go into the refrigerator and I'll show you guys. Please excuse how messy my refrigerator is. It's kind of embarrassing at this point. But whatever. Okay, so I'm going to show you, I kind of started doing this a little bit earlier, but let me see if I can get this. What is like the normal thing that's always in my refrigerator, right? Oh my God, so embarrassing. When I go down to the vegetable drawer, I always have broccoli. If I don't have broccoli in the house, I need to go to the grocery store. There's always broccoli. I have hearts of romaine here. Let's see what else. I've got a bunch of chili. This chili's good. Chili's anti-cancer. So I always have that. I always have avocados because I eat a lot of avocados. I always have lemons. But and I usually have asparagus. So if I were to like think about what am I going to have for lunch today, I've got vegetable stock as well. I could do like a broccoli, and I would order mushrooms, like a broccoli and mushroom soup with a little bit of tofu, or I could do a stir fry, or I could do a salad with some grilled broccoli on top. It's always every vegetable. I don't do smoothies because that's going to spike your blood sugar level and it's going to be stored as fat. Start your digestion in your mouth. You don't want to bypass the first line of digestion and get it down there pulverized because it's going to be too much sugar too fast. It's going to be pulled through your intestines and stored as fat. So I did this show on New York Living where I talked about the way that you layer your food, right? Well, for me, my lunch is all vegetables. Every way that I can get, or plant-based, every way that I can get vegetables into my system, that's how I'm breaking my fast. Because then at least I know, no matter how the day goes after that, I've added. A great diet is not deprivation in terms of the type of foods that you eat, but you add the good ones. You can deprivate yourself in terms of time. So 16-hour fast is what I do. 12-hour fast is fine. A 14-hour fast is fine, right? So if I were to do a 12-hour fast and let's say I stopped my last meal at 9 p.m., I can eat at 9 a.m. That's 12 hours. That's 12 hours, right? I am a certified holistic nutritionist, and I'm a gerontologist, and I have a master's degree in psychology. I am a gerontologist. I graduated from USC. A gerontologist is somebody that studies the aging process. It's the physical thing that happens as we age, the emotional, the psychological, the social, all of those changes that as we age, all of those things that change. That's what a gerontologist does, but I'm also a certified holistic nutrition and health coach from the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. So I love to learn, and I cram as much stuff, just like I cram as much vegetables into my body as possible. I cram as much stuff because this is what I do for a living. So I am a healthy aging coach, and there's a lot of different subjects that I can speak on because my education just continues. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing next. Well, I've got a lot of stuff that I'm doing next, but in terms of education-wise, trying to figure out where I'm going with there. So I fill this. Little bit of black rice in the bottom, giant pile of vegetables, stir-fried, a little bit of soy sauce is all. I'm using oils like olive oil or avocado oil. I'm not using the other seed oils. So that's super important. And then throughout the day, so let's just keep going. So this was my lunch. My lunch is as many vegetables and as many varieties with it still tasting good as I can get. Sometimes that's with a bowl of soup, right? Like my favorite kind of soup these days is a tiny bit of miso, green beans that are chopped up, an organic vegetable broth, firm tofu cut into cubes, and all the mushrooms that I can put in there. For me right now, because the weather is like starting to turn a little bit, that is an amazing lunch for me. And so I do get hungry though in the midday before dinner, and that's when, see if I can, oh my God, if you guys saw my counter right now, I'll show you. That's when all of these nuts come in. So I am somebody who I have nuts every single day. Walnuts, great for your brain, but look, we're looking at organic and we're looking at raw. We're not looking at salted, toasted, candied, all of that stuff. Organic and raw. Sunflower seeds, almonds. See, I'm always afraid I'm going to run out, so I always have. And we're talking raw almonds, right? Love goji berries. This is a little bit of sugar in here, but goji berries are great as antioxidants, vitamin A. They're tangy and they're dried and they're not as sweet as like other, other things that you could add. But I love these mixed with raw walnuts, raw almonds, goji berries in a little bowl while I'm working. That is like a great snack. And raw almonds help to regulate your blood sugar levels. So even a lot of diabetic patients will have raw almonds with them, because if you've had something sugary, you can add raw almonds, and the fiber from the almonds, not only does it help regulate your blood sugar level, just the almonds alone, but the fiber from the almonds slows down the way that sugar hits your bloodstream. So as we talked about earlier, fiber creates that mesh, right, in your small intestines. So when you're eating something that's a sugar or starchy carb, and you add fiber, and I'll show you my fiber supplement as well. But you add fiber first, or even afterwards, it's still going to slow down the way that sugar hits your bloodstream, because the fiber creates that mesh in the small intestines. And so the speed at which you pull the glucose through the lining of the small intestines is slowed down. And anytime, this is really important, anytime that you slow down the way that the sugar hits your bloodstream, it is far less likely to be stored as fat. Does that make sense, you guys? If you understand the concept of fiber is our friend, having fiber first, and I'm going to talk about that order real quick, but fiber first before you have that cookie, before you have that piece of bread. Aim for fiber. We are way too concerned with the amount of protein that we're getting. And protein does help people lose weight when you replace carbohydrates, starchy carbs, with protein. That does not make sense, because you're taking out the starchy carbs, you're inserting protein. It's the concept that I've been doing for so long with the adding. So people are like, I have to have 30 grams of protein at every meal. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to affect your longevity. It will, because we want our body to go in and restructure those damaged proteins. If we're constantly, I need 30 grams of protein at every meal, I need 100 grams of protein a day, guess where extra protein is stored? As fat, and usually around your midsection. It's not where you think it's stored. You can't just eat protein and go, well, I'm going to eat protein and it's going to go right there. No, your muscles are made in the gym. Your muscles are made in the gym. They're not made in the kitchen. We're way over protein because we have fallen for this marketing shit of like added protein. We need this bar, we need this powder. Ask your doctor, when was the last time they treated somebody for protein deficiency? I guarantee you they haven't. They haven't. There's nobody that you know of, unless you've got an eating disorder that is or some rare disease where you can't manufacture your essential amino acids. A doctor does not treat people for low protein in this country. They just don't. They treat a lot of people for low fiber. A lot of people are having problems going to the bathroom. A lot of people are having problems with IBS, with with their gut being not great. But there's not a lot of people that are getting treated for low protein. So it's kind of, we're kind of in the middle of this like marketing thing where, oh, protein's a big thing and we need protein. Yes, let's start adding it to everything. It's not great for your longevity. Okay, so we just determined that now we're at about 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I've got as many vegetables as I can put in here. And they usually are, not usually, but most of the time, it's some sort of cruciferous vegetable. So cauliflower or broccoli. Usually it's some sort of mushrooms. Oftentimes it's tofu. Sometimes it's chickpea, like garbanzo beans or chickpeas. This has so many protein, so much protein, you guys. It's really crazy. It's 7 grams of protein for a half a cup. 7 grams of protein for a half a cup. You don't need to start thinking about like, oh my gosh, I have to get my protein in. The reason why people lose weight when they start adding protein is because they're adding it and taking away the other shit that they were eating. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. But in terms of longevity, in terms of optimal health, you want to, oh, yes, you make your own. It's so easy, creative eye candy. It's so easy to make your own hummus, which is insane. I was going to do it on camera today, but maybe what I'll do is afterwards I'll make my own hummus, and I'll put that on my story or something so you guys can see. I mean, you literally stick this in a food processor, a little bit of olive oil, maybe a little bit of tahini, you know, a little bit of olives if you want to flavor it. You've got homemade hummus. Yeah, kind of cool. Okay, so now we've gotten to midday and I'm like cooking dinner and I'm hungry. This is my go-to. This is my go-to. I always have almonds everywhere in a little bag in my purse. Almonds, walnuts, and sometimes a little bit of goji berries kind of mixed together. It really, have a couple of almonds and wait a little bit, drink a glass of water, and you'll see, are you really hungry or are you really bored? You know? Or is it just a habit that you're grazing at 3 or 4 o'clock? Or did you eat something for lunch that spiked your blood sugar level that then crashed it again, right? So we have a set point. When you eat something, your blood sugar can spike. When you've eaten something that then gets stored as fat, this is a really interesting way to look at this. When you eat something and you realize in 2 or 3 hours you're hungry again, you have just eaten something that was stored as fat because your insulin cleared your blood glucose level and then your blood sugar dropped and then you're hungry again. So what you eat throughout the day is really dependent on what you ate before. What was your last meal? What was your meal before you went to bed? Do you wake up starving? Did your blood sugar level drop while you're sleeping? In that, is it reflective of what you ate at night? So I'll do this concept again because the concept of like layering your food in a certain way to make sure that you're starting with high fiber is always going to be better for your metabolic health. So you want to start with all the vegetables first on your plate, right? Every vegetable that you can eat this first. That creates a mesh in your small intestines. Then you follow that with your proteins and your healthy fats. And then your starchy carbs like your potatoes, your breads, and then your sugars in terms of the form of fruits, if you're like a fruit person, and then the sweets at the last. And if you order your food in that way, vegetables first, so all the fiber first, followed by lean proteins and healthy fats, followed by starchy carbs like potatoes or bread, followed by any fruit that you have, followed by your sweets. If you order them in this way, you have a more stable blood glucose level and you're less likely to spike that and have it drop, and then you're eating everything in sight. And it's less likely to have that stored as fat. Okay, so now we're moving to dinner. Dinner is the point where, so I've already had some of these nuts. I've had probably another cup of the mushroom coffee. Now we're moving to dinner. And dinner to me is I cook whatever I want to feed my husband. So there's always, not always, but I want to say 3 or 4 nights a week that includes some sort of meat, like a chicken breast, lemon chicken, or something. It includes something. Last night I actually made a grass-fed bison meatloaf. I had 2 bites of it. And that's all. What is the mushroom coffee? It's Rise mushroom coffee. You can just DM me mushroom and I'll send you the link because I think I can get you a little bit off. But you just mixes right in with water. And I like it because if you've just spent your time fasting, so you haven't had any sort of caloric intake, when your first meal gets sucked in really, really quickly. Think of it like a dried out house plant. If you have a dried out house plant and you add that water, it sucks it really quickly, which is why breakfast or breaking the fast, that meal is the most important of the day. It is. It's just not supposed to be breakfast food and it doesn't have to be done in the AM. So I still break my fast with stuff that's not sugar related or starchy carbs related. It's vegetables. So if I break my fast with that, I'm keeping my blood glucose level stable. And then I'm filling in with any sort of raw nuts and seeds and things like that throughout the day if I'm hungry. A lot of water. And then for dinner, like I said, I cook whatever and I take small bites of meat. So when I mean small bites of meat, last night I cooked, and this is not what I typically cook. This is like comfort food, home cooking, girl grew up on a farm kind of stuff, right? But I still cook things like that. I did that grass-fed bison meatloaf with a big organic russet potato and organic carrots and a salad. So for me, I had I took 2 bites of meatloaf, had the whole potato with the skin, added a bunch of chives inside, some vegan butter, and some steamed broccoli in my potato, and then ate the carrots and the salad. So when I ate that meal, I went salad first, ate all the salad first, then I ate the broccoli and the potato mixed together because I already had that salad, so I was fine mixing that together. I had a couple bites of the the carrots, and then a couple bites of the meatloaf. That was it, done. And then I had 2 cookies. And my blood sugar level felt fine. But that's typically what a dinner would be. So if I go out to eat, I'm not one that's like, you know what, I'm vegan and I'm not going to eat this. I'm not vegan. I'm predominantly plant-based, and I get as many vegetables in me per day as I can. Too many bots. I don't know what that means. I get as many vegetables in me as I can, and that's kind of the goal. So it's not depriving. Even though we're starting with intermittent fasting, the goal, I think, for healthy weight loss is not to deprive yourself, but to time your eating such that your body is utilizing fat for energy, right? And you could do this, like I said in the beginning, several different ways. You can do it the way that I do, which is you're fasting while you're sleeping. So that already gives you a little bit of extra help, because for the 7 to 9 hours, hopefully, that you guys are sleeping in the night, your body is already fasting. So if you wake up, you've already had, let's say you've had 8 hours of fasting, you only need 4 more and you're at 12, right? So if you wake up at 8, that's now noon. So that's already like a 12-hour fast, which for women, sometimes the doctors will prefer for you to do a 12-hour fast, especially if you're still ovulating and you're all of that kind of stuff. So, okay, are there any questions? Got a lot of questions about things that seemed unrelated, but let's see if there's anything else that's coming up. I kind of want to heat this up, my coffee. Okay, so tomorrow, you guys, I'm going to announce the winner for the Omnilux face mask, all right? Okay, let's see what we have. Yankee Beauty 88. Thanks so much for the information and great examples on healthy intermittent fasting and eating habits. Thank you so much. What kind of water? I like just a spring water. Yeah, I drink spring water. I will sometimes put it out in the sun, or I will kind of mix it up. I had Tracy Dews. I always get confused with that spelling of her last name. I had Tracy Dews on here on a live show, and we talked about water and how water is important, and how we should not only be, we shouldn't be drinking out of plastic bottles. We all know that, but even like the purified water are stripped of all of the mineral content. So I always do a spring water if I can find it. If I'm traveling, if I can find it in a glass bottle, I do that. Otherwise, I have a spring water like in the big, container over there. Okay. Let's see if there is anything else. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing tomorrow. I still have a couple feelers out for grief counselors. And it's really hard during the holidays because people are always doing their thing. You got stuff to do. So somebody just said, so do you have water first, then workout, then collagen, then mushroom coffee? I wake up and I have water. So I'll drink a cup of water, but then I'll drink a cup of water when I first work out. And then I've got my big giant thermos of green tea, which is essentially water with, better things in it. But I'll drink my big thing of green tea. I'll then work out. I'll take a swig after my workout of the collagen for muscle recovery, the sport. So I'll take a swig of this. I'll drink an entire thing of mushroom coffee. I will then, my next step is I'm filling this bowl, and sometimes I go back for seconds, I'm not gonna lie, with as many vegetables in a stir fry as I can, or a vegetable soup, and sometimes I'll have two, it just depends on how my body's feeling that day. But a vegetable soup or a stir fry in a cup like this, and then nuts, raw nuts throughout the day. If I get hungry, which is usually around 3 or 4 or 5, it's usually around 5. When I'm cooking, I'll get a little hungry, so I'll pop some raw almonds or some walnuts, things like that. And then I have a sensible dinner, but I do start with all the fiber first, the veggies first. Let me see if I can bring you over here. Hold on, and show you an option. Ooh, see, this is all of my vitamins. Let's see if I have, or if I brought it somewhere else. I think I brought, oh no, I do. So listen, if for some reason you're out, and I always do this because I never know what I'm going to get when I'm at somebody else's house. So especially during the holidays, to start with like a fiber supplement, I think is super smart when you're going to somebody else's house or you're going to a holiday party. If you don't have the access to eat the vegetables first to create that mesh in your intestines, you can start with a glass of water with a fiber supplement at home, and that already is starting you off in a way where you're less likely to spike your blood sugar level and less likely to be stored as fat. I do want to talk about really quickly before I go, I do want to talk about other ways that you can do intermittent fasting, because the way that I do it, which is the 16-8 method, which is 16 hours of fasting and an 8-hour window of eating, right? I have an 8-hour window of eating. And when you do that, to me, I have found that to be easier, because I feel like when I do it, there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can do a 5-day off of your intermittent fasting and a 2-day on. That's a 5-2 method. I have found that when I do that, my body has not adjusted, and it's expecting food on those 2 days where I'm fasting, or you have a really reduced caloric intake. I think the caloric intake is like 500 calories a day, 500 to 800 calories a day. So 5 days of eating normal and then 2 days of really restricting your calories. I don't like to restrict anything. The timing is different because your body gets used to that, but to restrict caloric intake for 2 out of the 5 days throws me completely off, and I feel like I'm hungry. I feel deprived for those 2 days, and I don't like to feel that. So I do this every day, and my body gets more used to it. And so to me, it's much easier. So those are the options, though. You can do the 16-8 or a 12-8 or a 14-8. And what I mean is 16 hours of fasting or 14 hours of fasting, 12 hours of fasting. And you have that window of eating, right? Off the topic, how do you maintain your teeth so white? I'm gonna do a whole live on that, actually. I should do a whole live on that. Sorry, I'm gonna get comfy. I should do a whole live on that. Okay, so those are the other options. You could do a 5-day of regular eating and a 2-day of severe caloric restriction. Or you could, like me, do a 16-hour fast with an 8-hour window. If you've got, if you're doing a 12-hour, if you're doing a 14-hour fast, then of course you've got a 10-hour window. If you're doing a 12-hour fast, you've got a 12-hour window of eating. So 12 hours of fasting, 12 hours of food. So let's see. Oh, I know. You guys, I have a giveaway. Shit, forgot to tell you. Of course, I already announced the winner of the T-Zone vibration plate, right? So that winner, I'll make sure that I reach out to them and I'll give that to the company, and the company will send you that T-Zone vibration plate
for free. That is a giant win, giant. Then tomorrow, I'm not sure what I'm doing yet for my live, but I will be here again at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'll be doing something, and I will be announcing the winner of the Omnilux Red Light Therapy Mask. For today's giveaway, this is the Prolon 5-day Fast Mimicking Diet Plan, or nutrition system, that used to be called the 5-day Fast Mimicking Diet. This was invented by one of my professors at USC, Dr. Walter Longo, who has done so much research on intermittent fasting and on fasting and how it affects our longevity. And so he came up with this 5-day fast mimicking diet. And this is a good way to reset, right? To reset your metabolism, to reset, to create an environment where we can do autophagy. Does anybody remember what autophagy is? I talked about it a lot. Autophagy is the cleaning up of cellular debris, right? Getting rid of those senescent cells and those zombie cells. And it's in times of deprivation that our body is able to do that. So this is a 5-day kit. I don't want to open it because it's sealed, but it's a program where there's boxes inside here labeled 1 through 5. And whatever is in that box, that's what you're eating for that day. And let me see if I can show you an example. Hold on, guys. Hold on. These are like extras that I have, but let me show you an example of what it would be like in a kit. Sorry, I'm coming. So they have soups. There's different soups, like a chickpea and lentil soup. There's white bean and spinach soup. So they're all pre-packaged, strategically formulated days, right? This is not the right, I just put stuff in here because I had extra stuff. Sometimes I'll do a 5-day fast, but I'll stop at like day 4 because I have something that's coming up or whatever. And it's around day 3 of this fast that autophagy starts happening, where it literally will allow your body to do, to restructure those damaged proteins and to, help you lose weight, to be honest with you. The average amount of weight that somebody loses with something like this is 5 to 7 pounds, and you're on it for 5 days. So it's strategic in that you're fasting, but it's called fast mimicking because the amount of calories that you're taking in with this still gives you nutrition, but it's not enough to where your body is not going to be utilizing all of the damaged parts for energy. So it's very scientific what they did with this Prolon Fast Mimicking Nutrition Program for 5 days, but it is great for a complete reset, metabolic reset, which I love. I do this probably a couple times a year. So that's also something that I do, right? I do this like a couple times a year. And then you guys, in terms of like the whole getting back to, so let me just finish. This is what's up for grabs this week. So when I post this to my main feed, when I post this live to my main feed, you need to tag your 3 people and then comment away, and then the winner of this will be announced next week, okay? So this is what's up for grabs today. For tomorrow, I will announce the winner of the Omnilux Red Light Therapy Mask. And then I wanted to talk just briefly about the holidays because the holidays are here, and even though we're talking about what I've eaten in the day, don't think that I'm not over there having a cookie at night, because I am, or 2, sometimes 3, because I am. But that's because the rest of my day, I've already gotten it in. If you start your day with all of the stuff, adding in the stuff that you know is good for you, that your body needs, all the vegetables, all the fiber. If you start your day adding that stuff in, then when you slip up at night and have a couple cookies or a gingerbread man, who cares? There's about 12 food-centric days, holidays, throughout the year. Now we're in a holiday season, but it's okay to still be able to indulge in those kind of things as long as the rest of your day looks great, right? As long as you're really being strategic in what you're putting in your body, then it makes it okay to still have those kind of sweet treat things. Like I
Oh, let me show you my favorite. This is my favorite. Oh, I wonder if I have, oh, God. Oh, this is my favorite kind of like cheating. I love, honestly. If you've never tried this ice cream, and there's so much sugar in it, but it is dairy-free, love this. It's a caramel cluster with cashew milk, and I love this by So Delicious, this dairy-free, which is a dark chocolate, also with cashew milk. So it's not like I don't eat crap, you guys. This is still crap. It's just not as bad as like, you know, the normal kind of ice cream. But when I do this, if I feel like, I didn't get enough fiber at dinner, I'll put a scoop of this into a glass of water and have this before I have that. So it really does slow down the way that the sugar hits your bloodstream, less likely to be stored as fat. I hope that this helps you guys. Make sure that if you're going to try intermittent fasting, that you talk to your doctor. There's some people that can't do it if you're taking medication first thing in the morning. You can do that with like a small little scoop of like a yogurt or something like that. These are my favorite. These are like the coconut yogurt, so they're non-dairy. But if you do take medications first thing in the morning that you have to take, make sure that when you're doing that, you talk to your doctor, you tell them what you're doing. Somebody said, what was the last thing? I don't know. What is the fiber called? This is my brand. This is the Live Young Fiber Lean. You can just DM me supplements and you'll get a link to my supplement line. I don't talk about my supplement line a lot because it is very, very, very high quality, and the cost reflects that. And I cut out as much as I possibly can in terms of, you know, trying to break even with this stuff. But it's still, I'm not going to put out a product that's not the best on the market. I'm just not going to do it. So my line is a higher end healthy aging supplement line, but just DM me the word supplement and I'll send you that link and you can figure it out. There is a sale. Oh, I know. There's a Young Holiday 20? Young Holiday 20 will get you 20% off of the supplement line as well. Okay, you guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. where I will announce the winner of the Omnilux Red Light Therapy Mask. If you want the Prolon 5-day Fast Mimicking nutrition plan, when I post this to my main feed, just tag your 3 people and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 11. All right, have a great day, everybody.